Sorry. Thank you all guys for coming here and attending my session. Also, I really appreciate the chance to be here, and all kudos runs personally to Andrei Soroka and all the SS team who made it possible. So, just want to make a pretty picture for you while I'm talking, because I really don't have slides for today. It will be a pretty real demo session. Okay, let's try without that. Like that, yeah. Okay, so few words about me. My name is SERHII on Russian manner, SERHII on Ukrainian manner. Never mind, feel free, call me Serge, Sergiusz. I'm Ukrainian expat currently hired by Polish boutique IT security consultancy known as IMMUSEC. So there I'm responsible for conducting full flavor penetration testing services for our clients across Europe and few ones in US. So today I'm here to point a little bit your attention to penetration testing by its definition and how it's applicable to the web application security domain. Because really we have three main activities, main probably stages we could conduct against a target system. So the first one is a vulnerability assessment, as it is. So it's a process to identify vulnerable software, or services, or operating systems in our target. So we have a bunch of different tools in place for that. Actually, today is my first vendor-independent talk, so I will not point you to any commerce solution. Anyway, I guess the next talk will, Piotr will share some insights with you about that. Honestly, during my work, I'm using to enable Nessus, but probably one of you remember the times when Nessus used to be free. Yeah? Raise your hands if so. We'll probably have a beer this night. Okay. After Tenable acquired Nessus, that open source project was forked to the OpenVAS, Open Vulnerability Assessment Scanner, probably, I don't know, OpenVAS. So to use it, so actually, okay, vulnerability assessment, and in general, all I want you to understand, it's my goal here, because that, never mind which position you have now, which experience you have now. The penetration testing is not a magic, and it's not a, you know, martial art, as somebody calls themselves, penetration ninjas. So it's exciting, pretty exciting, but it's daily routine work. And we could assess our resources on our own, at least on the very fundamental level. So to get this work, go ahead on any Linux distro you love and install OpenVAS. I have installed, so I will know. And then OpenVAS config. Oh, sorry, setup, okay. And it will be deployed and up and ready for your assessment. So here it should work. It looks like that. Very, very open source, like look. So we will use it during our demo today just to briefly assess our target. So let me introduce a target. I will use a virtual machine here. Probably all of you know its name. It's Metasploitable 2. So it's a server site with a web server on it and running damn vulnerable web application, DVWA, on it. So we will power on. Wait a while. And a little bit. So, okay. Yeah, it's up and running. Who knows the password? Please help. Uh-huh.
admin.
Okay, thank you. Here we are, and I will check if it has the right IP address, ends with 128. So now I will hide it if I could. It's up and running. Okay, so here we have DSS, ITSEC, damn vulnerable web application. Here we go. It's basic authentication. Later, somewhere outside, we could assess itself or try to brute force that login form. The default password is a password. So let me just initiate a database here. And for demo purposes, we will set the security level to low. And really, so it's virtual machine with pre-configured vulnerable software, and that's okay for demo purposes, but I've promised the organizers make a real-life scenario here. I want it to be more interesting than just another lab to see. So I just believe everyone is adult here in the room. If someone doesn't have it in 3 years old, please raise your hand. Okay, so we can move on. Here is public bounty program from Pornhub. It's pretty interesting, and few blogs already published researchers 1 or 2 months ago. Pretty interesting PHP vulnerabilities not known before, involving 0 days. So here's premium 1 will be our target 2. I will not agree because there are pictures after that. So, okay, it's our target 1 and 2. So let's get back to vulnerability assessment. It will work in background, so we'll make a Pornhub premium and start it. Yeah, and the second one against our damn vulnerable web application which is under 128. Okay, so that's a very early stage of assessment, basically required by PCI DSS to be conducted at least 4 times per year against your systems. Meanwhile, the second activity we could conduct is a penetration testing itself. So penetration testing is an attempt to exploit that vulnerabilities that was discovered during vulnerability assessment or during all reconnaissance phase of penetration testing. So the goal is to prove that vulnerability really exists and that's not a false positive from the web application scanner. And the second one, and probably most important, is to show our customer that this vulnerability could be exploited with public available exploits, and almost everyone could attack them. So actually, in the web security domain area, that here is problem becomes because I believe your partner portal or your website doesn't widely deployed worldwide, and not so many people attempted to test security of this solution, of your product. So almost for sure such developed from the scratch solutions doesn't have known vulnerabilities, and here we need to go deeper and use at least intercepting proxy to assess application and its flow and probably find security flaws in it. But in any way, such applications will run on the servers with operating systems and different services on it, and that's very basic level we should assess, and probably after my talk you will do it this evening or on the nearest weekend on your own. So here is running. Okay. Colleagues that had the talks before have shown pretty fine examples of using that meta-operator sessions and etc. But I think that if something you can do more easily, you should have the time, you should do it in that way, in more easily. So, for example, we could briefly just map that host we are assessing. Let's do it fast, okay? 16th. So here we go, and one of my another favorite old school tools is a NICTA web application vulnerability assessment tool. Just we'll use it to in place of ping, okay, just to identify the IP address of Pornhub Premium. Usually, I nowadays required to use a dash port parameter to point NICTA to the 443 port, but actually that site running without HTTPS, so we will do it on default port, and really that's a thing we could report already. Something went wrong. Let's do it in that way. And it redirects us to 280. Never mind, so we'll get an IP address, so let's unmap it. Please spell it to me.
120.38.
120.38.
0.
Thank you. And here we go. Behind the web servers, it's some probably strange services running on that server which hosting that application. And actually on that stage, manually, we could go to the exploit database online and find available exploits for such services, identify is it vulnerable, but okay. Will not do. About how to do it fast. Let me just check how it's going in our vulnerability assessment. We almost got reports, but never mind. We'll go ahead. So we've tried to map that application, both Pornhub and our daemon vulnerable. So, okay, we could go ahead and use MSF console to run Metasploit framework under Kali Linux. And in that great way, in terminal window, trying to explore our targets. Just will need to wait again. Meanwhile, I will launch another one. Terminal window. Oh, it's very pretty. Yeah, console mode. Let me check if database up and running. It is. So here at Metasploit, first thing we should do is find a cow. And it is not. We use the banner command. Yeah, one cow and another will say Metasploit. No. It's a bad sign. Only after we will find cow it will work great. But okay, let's see that rabbit and exit Metasploit, because it's not so easy to assess it this evening and during this few minutes left. 5 minutes, okay. So let me move on. The tool known as Armitage. It's a graphical user interface to use both Nmap and Metasploit framework to make it easier to assess and to find exploits, to identify services, and really to get that shell in the end. So let's wait a little bit to initiate it. I was interested. I didn't prepare for that, so I just found the first one bug bounty to assess with you today. A lot of it's for both. Okay, I should initiate MSF database here and start Metasploit service, and it should work now. Where is my premium one? Okay, never mind. I have Metash up and running here. And which that theme will 100% will be executed against any of your resource from thousands of people just playing with such solution in educational purposes, I believe. So let's just add that host. I will not add Pornhub Premium because we are behind the firewall, and often is the main issue that you are not set it up a port forwarding from your firewall to your station. But if you have a direct link or have a full control under the router you are using to get to the internet, you will be able to set it up and make it work. So if I run it now against Pornhub Premium, probably it should work, but it will not work as traffic not forwarding to my station. No. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And here we have our target. Just pop up on my screen that we added that host. Okay. And now we are here. And in few clicks, let's do the same thing. Let's unmap it using quick scan, even not aggressive. Not sure if it worked. Okay, another pop-up asking me another time, like a Windows. So, okay, let's scan it. And here we go. Now I'm expecting another one that scan is finished. Yeah, it is. We discovered this Linux-based host. And now, what should we do? We should go to attacks and find attacks in the Metasploit framework against that ports and services running behind them. And it's doing in pretty another pop-up like that. We are just waiting a while. And after that, we have message that attack analysis complete. And we could right-click the host, goes under attack, and use any of exploit available for that manually. For example, I don't know, any kind of, for example, that we could prepare it on our own thoughts, but will not do. Let's have a Hail Mary. It's a hard weapon which will now run all that exploits against the target. And yeah, really. Okay. all the payloads are querying and then will be executed, and we will compromise that machine. You will see it on the screen, like when the lightnings will be there. The first one, yeah, we got it, and we'll wait till the end of the process to probably get more shells. It's a really madness, sorry. It couldn't be done in silent mode. So if we will targeting any real world application, we will eventually use each exploit one by another and trying to hide our activity. But that is pretty simple to execute if you're assessing your own application on your chair with your coffee. Now we are waiting 30 seconds to find out which sessions we have got. There will be a few, I believe. And here we go. We have 4 sessions. For example, that one, sorry, where we are. So the last one is using Sambo exploit, okay. Let us check that shells. For example, the last one, we could try to interact, and to finish it, just let me check who am I there and the host name. Are we really at that machine? And here we are. We are under the root there. Thank you, that's all.
A round of applause for Mr. PRONIN here. Here's a certificate for your presentation. Congrats. And also a small gift from the organizers, of course.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you a lot for showing us the real tools really being used when doing penetration testing.